everyone! In this video today, I want to show you guys how to make this sort of crisscrossing arrowhead sort of chevron kind of bracelet. It is an extremely fun and simple bracelet to make, so if you want to learn how to make this bracelet, then keep on watching. So for this bracelet, you are going to need 5 colors and then your black string for the sort of X sections in the middle. And as far as measurements go, it's really going to depend on the length of the bracelet you need, but I measured my strings about 27 inches, maybe closer to 30, but I will say no matter what you want to measure your colored strings, you will want to make your black strings quite a bit longer because they get used the most in the pattern, therefore they will get eaten up very quickly. You can see this bracelet here is about 5 inches long now, and this is how much black string I have left, and this is how much of the color I have left, so just about double the amount, maybe a little bit more. So do make sure that your black strings are maybe even double the length of your colored strings. So if you have seen my heart chevron pattern tutorial that I uploaded somewhat recently, you'll probably notice that this pattern looks very similar to that, and that's because it's made by the same person. And it's worth mentioning that because theoretically, yes, you could work on this bracelet in a chevron formation, just like I did in the heart chevron tutorial. But when I was working on this bracelet, I found that doing it that way was way too slow for me. And I found a way that worked a lot better for me, and you'll notice that it will seem just slightly convoluted, but it works up way faster that way, so I'm going to teach it that way. But if you're working on the bracelet and you find something that works up way more efficiently for you, then that is the beauty of segment knotting. You can do that. And if you want to make it easier on yourself and follow it in a chevron formation, that's totally up to you as well. So for the order of your strands, whatever color order you want the X's to go into is the order you will lay out your strings. But you'll notice that my first color is second in line instead of being first in line. So I'm doing a slight rainbow order just to hopefully make this easier to see. But the first color is second in line instead of being first in line, and that is just to help with following the video over again if you need to. So you will order your strings 2, 1, 3, 4, black, 5, black. So starting on the left, we are going to take our first color, and we are first going to do a backward forward knot onto the string to the left of it. And then we are going to do forward knots onto the next 2 strings to the right of it. And then we're going to take our first black string in line that we have ran into, and we are actually going to quickly take that string and do a backward knot onto our leading strand. And then 2 forward knots onto the next 2 strings to the right of it. And then really quickly, we are going to go on to the right side and repeat these steps but mirror them. So take your second string in line and do a forward backward knot onto the string to the right of it. And then do 2 backward knots onto the strings to the left of it. And then with the first black string that we run into, do a forward knot onto the leading strand with it. And then do 2 backward knots onto the next 2 strings to the left of it. And then you want to connect your middle 2 strands with a forward knot. Looking at just the left side for now, we're going to take our outermost left strand, which is our second color right now, and we are going to first do a forward knot onto the string to the right of it, and then on the next string in line we are going to do a forward backward knot. And then onto the outermost left strand again, we are going to do a backward forward knot. And then we're going to pick up our black string that is on the left side of the 2 strings here. We're going to take this string and we are first going to do a backward forward knot onto the string to the left of it. And then we are going to do 2 forward knots onto the next 2 strings to the right of it. And then we're going to come back to our second string from the left here, which is the one that we just did this little triangle section with. And we are going to do a forward knot onto the string to the right of it. Then we are going to do a forward backward knot onto the next string in line. And then, really quick, we're going to come to our outermost left strand and do a forward backward knot onto the string to the right of it. And then we're going to come back to our string that we knotted with before this one. And we are just going to do a backward knot onto the string to the left of it. Let's come back to our black strands here and pick up the left one of the 2. And we are going to do a backward knot first onto the string to the left of it. And then on the next string, we're going to do a backward forward knot. And then we're going to come back to our middle 2 strands. Obviously, I've put this group off to the side, but you'll pick up the left strand of your middle 2. And we are going to do a backward knot onto the string to the left of it. And then in the next string over, we're going to do a backward forward knot. And now we're done with this side for the moment, so take this group of strings, you can put them off to the side if you want to. And I'm going to bring back our right group of strands, and we are going to repeat everything we just did on that side, but obviously we're going to mirror it. So we are going to come to our outermost right strand here. We're going to do a backward knot onto the string to the left of it, a backward forward knot onto the string that's next in line, and then we're going to do a forward backward knot onto this outer strand. And now we are going to pick up the black strand that is on the right side of the 2 now. We are going to take that strand, do a forward backward knot onto the string to the right of it. and then 2 backward knots onto the strings to the left of it. And then we're going to come back to the color that we did this little triangle section with here. And we are first going to do a backward knot onto the string to the left of it. And then do a backward forward knot onto the next string. And then really quickly come to your newest outermost right strand, do a backward forward knot onto the string to the left of it. And then we'll come back to our previous strand that we had been doing knots with before, and just do a forward knot onto the string to the right of it. And then we are going to come back to our black strings here, pick up the one that is on the right side of the 2, do a forward knot onto the string to the right of it, and then do a forward backward knot onto the next string, and then come back to your middle strings over here, pick up the second color of your middle 2 here, and do a forward knot onto the string to the right of it, and then a forward backward knot onto the next string over. So now we have done the bulk of the pattern on the left and right side, and we're going to do our finishing steps all sort of in the center here. So you're going to pick up your newest middle 2 strands, which is going to be your black color. You're going to quickly do a forward knot with these 2 strings. And then on the left side, do a backward knot over the string to the left of it. And then on the right side, do a forward knot onto the string with the other black strand. And then do another forward knot with your middle 2 strands, which will be the color of your X here. And then for the very last step, on the left side first, pick up the black strand that is on the left of the 2, and do forward knots onto the next 3 strings to the right of it to bring it to the middle. And then on the right side, pick up the black string that is on the right side of the 2, and do 3 backward knots to bring it to the middle. And then connect your middle 2 strings really quick with a forward knot. And that is one whole set completed. So if you want to follow the video from the beginning, then you very easily can. There will be no extra steps that you need to do. Just play the video over. Obviously you'll have your next color, so do keep that in mind as you work the bracelet up. And you'll also notice that this perfectly forms a triangle end. So if that's what you want to do for your bracelet, you can finish the pattern up exactly this way and it'll be ready for you to do your triangle ends. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.